episode one of what I think I'm gonna call the wind down. Uh, as of right now, basically me mini podcast sort of thing is the plan. Um, Talk about things that I enjoy and build a basis of what I'm working towards and things that I want to do. Um, Something that I have been thinking about lately is dealing with the idea of someone being attached to me and not being able to do anything about it. So not being able to bring myself to talk about how it affects me, not being able to truly show this person who I love very dearly that I understand that this is how you're feeling, but I need to make sure that I am not only prioritizing myself, but I am also looking out for you as well. Now, what does looking out for me look like? Looking out for me looks like spending time by myself and thinking and taking time before I do things, thinking about my actions and truly letting them sit with me before I execute on something. And I find that when I'm only thinking about myself, um, bad shit happens. I don't take into account the way that things can interact with other people, the way that other people interact with other people, and the way that other people interact with me. And I think that it's so important that I'm making it a point to really take into account other people's actions and other people's opinions, I should say, whilst also taking into account my own opinions and feelings, not just one or the other. I think one without the other is redundant and makes absolutely no sense on how to do something. I think it's silly. I think it's overall not useless, but I think one without the other is foolish. I think if you can make a decision based off what you feel, I think that's amazing. I think it's very difficult to be able to show yourself that you can make a decision and live with that decision. Not just make the decision, but also live with the consequences of that decision, because not all decisions that you make are going to be incredible. In fact, majority of the decisions you make are probably going to be horrible. And I think that as I'm growing older, I think that's something that I need to learn how to live with, that I'm not perfect and I'm not someone who is, insane at everything that I do, which I think as a male in today's generation is something that I really struggle with, is the curse of comparison. I think the the curse of comparison has killed more than it has saved. I think without comparison, we are nothing. But with comparison, we're going to make ourselves feel like nothing. If I wasn't able to compare myself to the people around me, I wouldn't have the ideas that I do. I wouldn't be able to do things like this. I wouldn't think of it. then also I wouldn't work as hard as I do. That's a lie. I definitely would. But I know a lot of people that if they couldn't show other people what they were doing, or they couldn't tell people that they were working out, if they couldn't tell people that they were running, if they couldn't tell people that they were swimming, if they couldn't tell people that they made billions of dollars, they probably wouldn't do it. Because they're not doing it to fulfill their own goals or fulfill or fulfill what they think that they want out of their own life, out of what they want in their life. And unfortunately, that's a cycle that so many young men in particular, obviously speaking from experience, that we get stuck in this cycle of not knowing what the end goal is going to be, not knowing how we can manage not only the end goal, but also how we can manage our own self-esteem and self-respect in terms of self-worth, without having it tied to a material thing that other people are dictating, not just ourselves. I know many people who have incredible self-esteem because they are incredibly high achievers, but I don't think that they would be incredibly high achievers if they didn't have the goal of other people looking out for them. I really hope you guys can hear this Minecraft, because I have no idea if you can or not. Just hoping for the best. Yeah, I think comparison is a thief of joy, and the curse of comparison has killed more than anything. Obviously, you need to make sure that you are holding yourself to a high standard, and I think without comparing yourself to other people, you won't be able to find that high standard for yourself. But if you can only find that high standard for yourself by looking at other people, there's something that you need to look introspectively. You need to look into yourself, and you need to start thinking, why do I feel like this? What is it that's making me feel like what is it that's making me feel like I need to be like this person, and that's the only way that I'm going to achieve this goal? I struggle with it. I know hundreds of people that struggle with it. I know clients I coach struggle with it. I know, coming from a basketball background, you look at these freak athletes and I'm like, oh, Jesus, grown men, and they're 14. I'm like, they're stronger than me, they jump higher than me. Like, they are freaks of nature, but that doesn't stop me from comparing myself to them. So I think telling people to stop comparing themselves to other people is an impossible task. But I think the day that you can master controlling what you compare yourself to is the day that a whole lot of things will start to turn around for you and will start to show their own bearings on what really matters to you. You know, what sort of people matter to around you, and you know, who do you want to keep around you? Like, who gives you the feeling of fulfillment when you're around them? Are you hanging out with people because you think you should? Like, are you just hanging out with someone because they say that they're your best friend? Like, you just hanging out with them because that's it. Like, oh, you guys are best friends, but realistically, you guys haven't had a proper conversation in months. You know, you guys just hanging out because you feel like you should be hanging out with them because they're more popular than you, and you want to build your popularity status. Are you just hanging out with them because you feel like you need to show yourself that you have friends? You hang out with them. I think there's a million reasons that you can go and list off why you might be hanging out with someone, aside from the fact that they are just someone that you hang out with. But I think if you sit down and you write a list of people who you'd call your closest friends, and you write 5 reasons per friend of why you enjoy hanging out with them, I think you'd just be very surprised at the lack of reasons that you come up for some of your dickhead dropkick friends. I think those people that you surround yourself with reflect heavily upon what you are and who you are as a person. I think if you can't find someone who you enjoy being around with, and you can't find someone who pushes you to achieve your goals, even when it pisses you off. Like, I know one of my best friends pisses me off the amount he's on my back about my trading, because it pisses me off. It's boring. But he knows that, he knows that one of my goals is to get good at it, and he knows that the only way that, me and him are going to get good at it is by doing it, and is by showing up. And as much as it pisses me off that he, is always on my back about things, I know it means he truly cares about me and truly wants to see me succeed, no matter what the circumstance is. Like, he wants to see me succeed. He doesn't want to see himself succeed through the eyes of me. He wants to see me succeed, and I know that he wants to see me succeed, which is a great feeling. And I don't know how many other people can truly say that about some of their friends, and could truly say that about people that are around them. Not just their friends, but the people that are around them. So I think what I'll leave this little 15 minute episode with is, get a list of your 3 closest friends and write down 3 things that you're most grateful for them, and what they do to help you achieve your goals, or what you do to help you achieve their goals. And really start to look at, what is the reason that you are around them, and do they help you become who you really want them to be? And do they help you become who you really want to be? And once you're done, if you've been able to find 3 things about one friend that you really care about, I think that's an insurmountable thing, and you need to go message your friend those things straight away. That needs to be something that goes in a text, not a snap or an Instagram DM. That needs to go in a text to them and say, you know what, man, I'm grateful for you, and I'm grateful for these things that you do for me. I know that when I look at my friend and we go to the gym every week together, I know that I look at him and I go, hey man, I'm grateful for how you hold me accountable. Or, fuck bro, you piss me off how much you're on my ass about it. But I know that means you really care about me. And I hope you know that I care for you the same that you care for me. Make sure you tell your friends that you love them.